Hey, we're here with Looper and not Hotel Transylvania.
Which I'm stoked about because Looper was awesome.
You wouldn't have been able to go see Hotel Transylvania. That's a Brad and Jake movie.
I guess. Well, at least you weren't like, Jake can't go. Can you go? Because I finally got to see a really, really good movie. I am so stoked.
Because you've seen so many horrible movies.
No, but every movie that I wanted to see, I didn't get to go because I wanted to see Expendables 2.
But is that worse? Is that worse than going to Oogie Loves?
I'm not saying,
going to Savages?
I can't be happy that I saw.
No, you
movie
can't.
That was awesome.
You're not allowed to be happy.
Oh.
You didn't get high and go see Oogie Loves with us.
Darn.
I'm just saying, they would have given us significantly less weird looks if, oh yeah, me, I'm the one, yeah. They would have given,
did you?
They would have given us significantly less weird looks if we had a chick with us.
Whatever.
I mean, we did have Dave, so that was close, but anyway, so yeah, we're at Looper.
It was awesome! Oh my god! Sorry.
It was really good. It's a really damn good movie. There's a lot of things I really like about this flick.
Everything?
Yeah, I like that it's a futuristic, sci-fi flick that's in the Midwest. You don't see that very often.
Well, it was really original, too.
Yeah, it is,
And what I liked about it, because I didn't know from the previews I saw, maybe just a couple previews, is it's in the future, and then they're also dealing with further in the future when the...
Oh, yeah, it shows that in the preview.
Well, I don't know, but what I really liked is that it was a realistic future. It wasn't, like, Fifth Element or anything crazy. It was just subtle technologies. Like, there's cars still on the ground. Anything hovery is either just, like, really expensive, like you would buy, like, a Lamborghini.
And it's like a motorbike that has, like, a jet on kitties, that has, like, a jet on the back of it and stuff like that.
And then there were cars with, like, solar panels and,
yeah.
You had really downtrodden areas, but it was a very realistic future with technology that could exist.
I kind of like that about Dredd, too.
I wouldn't know.
Dredd, I mean, granted, Dredd is a much more apocalyptic future than this movie, but the look of Mega City in that I liked. It looked like a 1992 movie doing something that takes place but in like 1999 or so. I like that, and I like this too for exactly the reason why you said this movie is 30 years in the future, and the stuff that's there that you see that's slightly different than what we have now. It's realistic. It's like, in 30 years I could see stuff like this advancing to the level that it does in this flick. And what I like too is when you watch the trailers for this movie, you get the basic gist of it, in that Mafia in the future controls time travel, and when they want to make someone disappear, they send that person back in time, and you have what's called a looper who kills them and disposes of the body, and then future Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's Bruce Willis, is sent back, escapes, and he has to find him. You get the gist of that in the trailer, but there's a lot more than that goes on in this movie.
Oh my god, it was brilliant.
It even sets up in the first act why a looper in the future is getting sent back, what happens when one of them escapes, even how time travel is... how they use time travel in the present, because the Jeff Daniels character in the movie is he's kind of the bad guy. I mean, he's the bad guy, but like he's
the head of the Looper organization, so he's not...
He's a bad guy, but he's one of those...
the same type of bad guy that Joseph Gordon-Levitt would be.
Well, in that he's like a bad guy, but one of those bad guys to where it's not that he's evil, he's just a guy who's doing his job. Yeah. It's like that. I mean, he gets pretty dark, he gets pretty sadistic. Jeff Daniels rocks the shit in this movie.
Oh, wait, okay, sorry.
Well, hang on.
I know, wait, there's one first.
But, I'm sure there is Ansi. So anyway, there's some great Jeff Daniels moments in the movie, like where he's interrogating Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and and he doesn't like really threaten him or anything. He's just kind of using his charisma, and he's like really cool about it. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt has to give up his friend. And he does. And the movie you're never really sure where it's going. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean the movie's unpredictable. And when it gets into why Bruce Willis comes back, and this is, if you're planning on seeing this, don't watch this video yet. But anyway, when it gets into why Bruce Willis has gone back, it gets, pretty dark, because it shows all the events of Joseph Gordon-Levitt's life leading up to Bruce Willis getting sent back to the past. And so when Bruce Willis goes to the past, it's basically so he can save his wife. And in doing so, he has to kill, kids. It
goes all Terminator.
It goes into Midwestern Terminator.
You're jumping way ahead.
It goes into Midwestern Terminator.
It was great. And the thing I love about it is you're watching the story of the same person, but it's almost two different storylines, and you don't know who to root for, because you really like, the young Bruce Willis. And it's just funny because he's like, you dumb shit, and he's, talking to himself.
Yeah, I like the beginning stuff was showing, the Looper's lifestyle. It's like a sci-fi version of, a Bret Easton Ellis
It was
book.
almost done like noir with the narration, and, you still
even how he's dressed.
Yeah, and, Jeff Daniels did a little joke thing, all these movies, you don't know, but just do something new. Everything's repeated.
I want to go to France.
Don't go to
China.
France.
But I want to go to France. I'm from the future. Trust me. Go to China.
That was great.
That was really good.
Yeah, but essentially, how it is the Loopers get sent back because that's kind of their rite of passage. The Mafia has to do the cleanup, and because time travel is illegal, the Mafia is using it because I guess in the future it's easier to track down, killers of people murdered, and so they're essentially destroying a body that doesn't exist. And so when the Loopers' time is up, they get sent back, but there's a shit ton of gold. They get their payment on the body that they kill, and then you basically get to live free for 30 years with all the money you've made.
Yeah.
But yeah, the part I really liked was when you first find out what kind of happens and goes down if you let your future self go, because his friend did it, but he didn't escape. He kind of just let him go.
Yeah.
And it's this cool part because once they catch his friend, they start mutilating him, but they don't show him mutilate him. You see the old body. He starts losing fingers, his nose, and it's just it was brutal.
It's really brutal. Limbs. It's a really clever scene. At the same time, it's one of those deals where pretty much in any time travel movie, they pick and choose where the butterfly effect makes sense. And in this case, it is kind of how would he possibly still be in this situation if he's missing all his limbs and shit like that?
No, it's the future. They can save him.
But that's just a typical time travel movie thing,
I like how they get away with explaining certain things because they're very subtle with how much they explain about time travel so that it's not really arguable, because they do handle the whole replacing memories and things being foggy since the time. But then Bruce Willis is just doesn't fucking matter, we'll be here charting out shit and blah blah blah, because Joseph Gordon-Levitt wants to know.
He gets a piece of his ear blown off, and then you see the same pieces missing off of Bruce Willis. It does really good stuff like that. And I even like how simplistic it is when the person from the future comes back to the past. Because it's just a cut, another
blink.
frame, just blink. He's like, I like that. That was refreshing.
Naked in the hole, but I do like that montage because, see, I had forgotten on the previews, or I don't remember if it showed that Bruce Willis gets away. I thought it was he lets him go.
It shows it in the trailer.
Okay, well, I guess I forgot that, obviously, because when watching, there's this montage, of, his party lifestyle, and they're doing, the red-eye drugs from Cowboy Bebop, and, he's seeing these friends, and they, celebrate. It's kind of bachelor party-esque when you kill yourself, and you're like, all right, out of contract, and then it's just kind of revolving, and his expressions make it seem like maybe, he thinks something's up, but what I didn't expect is just... I expected them to eventually make nice, and it doesn't happen. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is just dead on side. He's like, no, I'm going to kill him. You lived your life. And it's just, he's fighting against what Bruce Willis is trying to preserve. And he goes on to his, own mini adventure that's caused because of these events that he normally didn't have. And it's really hard because Bruce Willis's story and what he's trying to say because his wife gets killed when he's getting sent back. and then you've got Joseph Gordon-Levitt going on his life, and you really don't know, like, you can't pick one to say, I want that person to succeed, and I was surprised by the ending.
I'll get to that in a second. What I like too is how well they made Joseph Gordon-Levitt look like Bruce Willis. The eyes, the expressions, the kind of smirk kind of thing that Bruce Willis has.
And that was all him.
The nose and everything, like, that was really good. Like, I remember when I first heard Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing, when I first heard about Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing a younger Bruce Willis, this was before any trailers or anything, I was kind of like, really? I was like, well, I guess that's not as bad as Disney's The Kid. I mean, like, but like... This
is the third time he's met his previous self.
Yeah.
12 Monkeys.
Yeah. But it's so good how they make him how they make him seem like a younger Bruce Willis.
You almost forget it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt at places, like...
He's great in this movie. He's a great actor.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of the ending, I've heard some people talk about how much they didn't like the ending. I thought the ending was fine. I liked the ending. It was halfway sort of spoiled for me a little bit.
Did you go back on Rotten Tomatoes?
No. I forget who. Somebody on Twitter saw it and...
damn UK people.
They said something about the ending and said something about the ending and also the movie The Butterfly Effect. And
you get that with almost any time travel movie.
But, I mean, like, we've been spoiling shit this whole thing, but I kind of knew what they were talking about a little bit, so...
like for the greater good type?
Yeah, so I was sort of like, okay, that's sort of a spoiler right there.
Thank you for not sharing your spoiler with me.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do that, but there's an alternate ending of The Butterfly Effect that's retarded. I
have seen that, yeah.
Where he kills himself in his mother's own womb or something like that. It was just fucking dumb as shit. Yeah. This movie, this movie does it good. He doesn't go back to his womb or anything like that and strangle himself with the umbilical cord, but if you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Just tell him we've been spoiling it the
spoiler
whole time.
alert, Levitt kills himself at the end and it just makes Bruce Willis disappear.
Well, I like how they did it too, because
I did too. It was done well.
It wasn't all, he's gonna do this, because it's kind of a reflective thing, because through it, it took me a second to click, and you kind of looked over at me, because I was like, because when Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I'm going to backtrack here just a bit, when Joseph Gordon-Levitt first meets Bruce Willis, Bruce Willis gets away, and then some stuff happens, and then it clicks back, and it's him checking his watch, waiting for the jumper, and then it was like year one. I was like, as soon as it did year one, I was like, they're leading up to what his life would have been if he killed him. And so, essentially, this one kid is the cause for all of these
the Rainmaker.
The Rainmaker, not Dustin Hoffman.
That's Rain Man.
Oh, that's Rain Man. No, Rainmaker was
Matt Damon.
Yes, sorry. You know what? I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep.
John Grisham's Rain Man.
No, anywho.
It's about a mentally challenged guy and his brother.
I'm gonna lose it.
A mentally challenged guy and his brother, they take on court cases together.
Well, there isn't Kmart because it sucks, so it didn't survive to the future. No, okay, so this Rainmaker that they mention a few times is sending all of the loopers back to be killed and canceling contracts. And so Bruce Willis does the Terminator thing. It's like, if I kill this guy when he's a kid. And in the future, there's like a TK gene that's like telekinesis.
They handle that really well.
They do, because it's kind of like everybody thought it was going to be so cool, and all the guys at the clubs are just floating quarters.
Just make shit float over their head, and like no one gives a shit.
But then you find the kid's mom is actually kind of boss at it. She can float heavier things, and is explaining how, like, all these TK guys are trying to hit on me, and I kept the quarters down.
And the kid is basically like scanners. I mean, like, he's levitating.
Carrie, like, well, he makes the one guy just like blow up. It was so awesome. I was like, thank you for being R. If this was PG-13, I would have been so pissed.
Could have done without a lot of the CGI blood, but
you pick and choose. I would rather have a kick-ass movie like this with some CGI blood than for it to just be crap. So Bruce Willis, they narrow it down to 3 kids, and so the first kid you see is like a latchkey kid, and he's getting, and then he kills him. So he figures if he kills the Rainmaker when he's a kid, then he'll, just go back to being with his wife. So that gets intense, and then their Piper Paraboo is a prostitute that is kind of like...
was her, wasn't it?
Yeah, her and Joseph Gordon-Levitt kind of have, you know, a regular thing going on, and then you find out one of the kids is hers, and then something happens. But the whole thing is based around this farmhouse, and you find out that the kid has these incredible supernatural powers, and that's how, because up to the movie they're leading, or not up to the movie, up to the climax.
The trailers.
Shush! Up to the climax, they're leading up to it, explaining, they're like, well, no, this whole man just took control of the city, and they don't know how he did it, and so it does it really well to where I'm sure if we watched it again, you would catch a lot more.
Once it got going in that part of the movie, it got really damn good again. It got a little slow there for about 20 minutes
like
when he first arrives at the farm and stuff like that. And like, you know, I was kind of watching it like, this is kind of getting a little slow.
But you know what? I think...
But once you see what it's all leading up to, I forgot about all that.
Well, I know why they did that.
The payoff
though,
was great
because they had to establish rapport with the kid. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of slow because it's
once I saw where they were going.
Yeah. But no, and the kid is fucking great.
He's really good.
He can't be older than 4 or 5 max.
This kid was like,
oh my god, the Omen and Adorable in one, because he like switches when he gets mad and he doesn't realize what he's doing.
Nah, man, he was the sci-fi version of the kid from Demonic Toys. He was just he was just missing the dubbed voice. I showed you that. Remember Baby Oops-a-Daisy? Where Tracy Scoggins is the cop trapped in the warehouse of evil toys, and there's like the little kid who's like in control all of them, and his voice is dubbed by a much more demonic voice, and he's like, "You and I are gonna do the nasty." As he's got Tracy Scoggins tied up. You don't remember Baby Oops-a-Daisy?
Are you sure that wasn't Sarah?
Baby Oops-a-Daisy. We watched it at Brian and Sarah's.
Did I fall asleep?
Probably.
I don't think I was there.
Who falls asleep in Demonic Toys?
Depends how
Tracy
late it was.
Scoggins, man.
I don't know. Anywho. No, but the end, it's done real well, because it almost, in any of those narrative movies, a lot of times when a lesson is learned, they'll be like, and then I saw it, and so he's explaining...
And then I looked up savages in the dictionary. It's from Savages.
Yeah, you and your story. No. I lost my train of thought.
I wish that movie was something I just made up in my head. That means it doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, Savages. I didn't have the pleasure of seeing that one.
Pleasure.
Whatever, he loves it. He's got posters all in his bedroom.
No, that's film brain.
It's just shtick. He's all, I don't like savages. No,
I swear to God, I saw a Savages poster and it said, now you know how it feels. Oh, hey, buddy.
Steel Lloyd.
I swear I saw a Savages poster on Matthew's wall. Is that what you were gonna say?
Yes, no. I remember now. Like, you get Lucky Number 11, like any of those narrative movies that end up being intense, that's kind of, you have the main character reflecting, and he explains about how things come full circle all the time. Because he sees what happens, and you don't realize it didn't actually happen yet, in a sense, when, you know, the kid sees his mom die and then he escapes, and you think that's what caused him to do the events of the future. They also do it with, you know, going back because he kills Jeff Daniels' character, and Jeff Daniels was the one that turned him into who he is.
That was a good shootout.
Yeah, and so you really, I didn't anyway expect that hadn't happened yet. I thought it was just kind of, and that's how you get to the future, and then you learn that he saw it in his mind, and then he prevents it by killing himself. And I like the ending because, you know, they show the child and he's finally warmed up to his mom. Like, this kid is fucking genius. Yeah. But he could still turn into a bad person. Like, it doesn't necessarily say,
it's
like...
It's creepy looking as shit.
Yeah, you get that, you know, she's like, no, I'll raise him right, he'll be a good boy, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, he's not, and he was just, like, lost his shit when he saw the powers the kid had. But that's the thing, because they killed Jeff Daniels and like all of the Looper organization, but they can still bring more people back because they sent Jeff Daniels back. Yeah. So I could actually maybe see them making a sequel. It may not be, obviously.
I don't want them to.
It wouldn't be as good. No, I'm not saying I want them to. It doesn't need it, but it can definitely go there with that kid. And essentially they probably just turn it into Terminator, because it's basically like what it ended up kind of being. But
yeah, I was thinking that while I was like, oh man, it's Terminator in the Midwest.
Yeah,
sweet.
with kids.
But we're gonna take a break. We'll be back here in a sec. Okay, and now we're back to talk about the trailers, which there was like 8 of them. The movie didn't start until, I don't think, like a half an hour passed or something like that. There was significantly more trailers this time.
I think it seemed longer, too, because we had a lot of the same trailers from Hates.
We had a few, but we had a few new ones. Because at first we started seeing some of the same trailers, like
there was
Sinister.
No Taken 2. For once.
Yeah, for once. The first time in like 2 months there wasn't a trailer for Taken 2.
I want my Liam Neeson.
Just go see any other movie that's out there. I guarantee you it'll have a Taken 2 trailer. We got Sinister again.
Mama. I don't think we mentioned that last time.
Brian and I did.
Oh, okay.
Something we saw had a trailer for that.
The new one was the Oranges or Meet the Oranges or something.
I want Mama to be a spin-off of Dread.
What?
It's the villain's name.
Oh,
Mama's
okay.
not the law. I am the law.
I was like, how does that even figure into it?
So you gotta go see Dread.
Well, yeah.
But oh my god, it's so fucking depressing. Man, I hope Looper does really well, because the fact that fucking Hates made more money than Dread.
Go out and see Dread, because Hates sucks ass.
But anyway, I did kind of jot down what some of the trailers, because we started getting a handful of newer trailers that I hadn't seen before.
It was the Oranges thing with Hugh Laurie.
With Hugh Laurie robbing the cradle.
Yeah, it's got a little hot. Well, Bruce Willis's wife was like hot Asian chick, probably about 20 years younger than him.
Man, maybe. But it's Bruce Willis.
I know, right? Well, like, at first, because... Oh, I'm sorry, we're going back into the movie, but the thing I liked, because I didn't know he was going to end up, he sees her at a club, and she's like... I was like, you don't flick off the man! You screwed Bruce Willis's brains out. You would, too.
Well, yeah, is there any question about that? But yeah, so Sinister, Mama, those were the two... Paranormal Activity 4, of course. That's another one I've been getting at, like, every movie I've been going to. But then we got, that Oranges, Lincoln.
Lincoln, yeah.
We got Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in that, too. I'm pretty sure. Like, I think he's got a big part because he was a soldier.
In Lincoln, yeah, I saw that, too. Yeah, It looked like there was a lot of people in that.
He's been fucking busy, and he's awesome, so...
But it doesn't have I'm not seeing it. Bill Oberst Jr. is not playing Lincoln. He was the best Lincoln I've seen in, like,
Liam Neeson was supposed to be Lincoln for a while in that Spielberg. Like, he was actually in Springfield.
No way, man. Bill would do better, man.
No, he was supposed to. I know
he was. He was. Years ago, Liam Neeson was in Springfield at the Lincoln Museum.
I missed it.
Liam
Neeson, I love you.
Bill Oberst managed to play Lincoln just straight and convincingly surrounded by zombies. That was awesome.
I do like that, because historians say Lincoln actually wasn't the big 4 score
I like that
years.
too. Yeah.
And he sounds more how he was supposed to sound, just a kind of a regular guy, but has a presence.
Yeah.
So, in that
I
charisma
like
versus being like, well, we need to, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, how Lincoln usually sounds.
4 scores and 7 years
which
ago.
is kind of like an American Sean Connery sounding was usually how he sounded.
Remember,
that's L-I-N-C.
Free the slaves in the South.
Yeah.
You just need to do
bring a gun to the movie theater?
You should have done a commentary on the Snob movie just as Bane, talking through the whole thing.
Yeah. But
extra features.
Anyway, I like it, but I mean, knowing how much of a method actor Daniel Day-Lewis is, he probably did travel back in time to actually listen to Lincoln's voice. Guy's probably been building cabins and shit in the woods for like months.
He's playing with Lincoln logs.
Yeah, with Lincoln logs, chopping down trees and stuff like that.
Tommy Lee Jones is back, as well as Sally Field.
With his sweet wig. Tommy Lee Jones, it's got some awesome locks going on in it. I did see Sally Field in there. That looks like, it looks like a good prequel to War Horse.
Well, when it opened, I didn't realize what it was, and it was reminding me of Glory a bit.
Oh, yeah.
The way that they,
Well, every movie with black people, it reminds you of Glory.
Yes. I was watching Remember the Titans, and I was like, something about that coach and those
just kids. Like that movie Glory.
It's like Glory.
This is just like Glory, but safer.
That surfing movie, Riding the Mavericks. We had that last time, too.
Chasing Mavericks, I think that's what it's called.
Yes. I was like, people didn't care about surfing movies in the 90s.
Point Break, that's not true. Point Break is awesome.
Alright, but... it had more of a plot than, I'm a surfer, I'm gonna go on this big wave, oh, you can't, it's dangerous, well, it's okay, I'll train you, it's inspirational.
I can think of a couple of great surfer movies, Point Break. Big Wednesday from the 70s, Gary Busey, Jan
Again, that's not 90s. I mean, all of the surfing
movie,
movies
man.
and the sport movies, they try to make, like, fucking, Airborne or whatever, the rollerblading one.
I didn't see that.
Yes, you have. You've seen Airborne.
No, I don't think I've seen Airborne.
Well, good. It's bad.
Is it it's a surfing movie called Airborne?
No. I said I was segueing into the sports movies. It was the one with like the extreme rollerbladers, and the guy was like from California, and he was a surfer.
Didn't Doug do an episode on that?
I think so, maybe.
Because I never
Seth
saw
Green,
it.
I think, isn't it?
I've never seen it.
Anyway, but yeah, it's what's his face? He looks like C. Thomas Howell
with a blonde perm.
Yes.
Yeah, I was speaking of.
I'm just waiting for blackface, because then I can compare it to Glory.
The kind of curl that he had.
He did. That's why I was like, it's C. Thomas Howell. But he Jersey shored up.
Speaking of C. Thomas Howell, though, Red Dawn. We got the trailer for the remake. The remake of Red Dawn. You haven't seen the original? Right?
No, I haven't. And
it's a great fucking movie.
I know.
It's Wolverine.
I know that from American Dad. I just was never exposed to it. It's not that I never wanted to see it, but yeah, when they said that, I was like, Wolverine.
It's awesome 80s Cold War action.
How's
awesome.
the remake look compared to the original? At least Channing Tatum's not in it. That's always a positive, except for 21 Jump Street.
It's just it looks like if Michael Bay did the original. That's not a fucking good thing. The invasion scene at the beginning is awesome. When they invade at the beginning of the movie in the original, it's like creepy. It looks really good. But in this one it looks like an outer space.
I was just gonna say that the way they're introducing it was very Independence Day with the whole reports and rumbling and stuff.
A bunch of shaky cam fucking like CGI action crap. Who watches the original Red Dawn and be like, you know what, man, I can do this better. I can make all the action look like a fucking cartoon, because that's a good thing. Because
I didn't even know. I remember you mentioned in passing that they were remaking it, and it didn't click in my head, and I was just like, sweet, an alien movie, and then I saw the parachute, the paratroopers, and I'm like, and you're like, oh, it's the remake for Red Dawn. I was like,
yeah. Just watch the original. The original's fun. The original's a really fun flick. This just looks like just over-budgeted CGI Hollywood crap.
It was never a matter of, I don't want to see that. It was just...
I like Chris Hemsworth. I like Chris Hemsworth. The original's got a better
I wonder
cast.
if they're going to remake Toy Soldiers, because I'm kind of feel...
No, they did. Don't you remember Masterminds? With Vincent Kartheiser?
No! Stop it.
But,
listen to Jeff Daniels and Looper and make something new. This movie, I know we're going back, but I'm sorry. This movie was unique. It was entertaining.
Yeah,
it was fresh. So, anybody who says there's no fresh ideas, fuck you. This movie was fantastic.
Come on, man. Like, the remake of Red Dawn does some new things, like, instead of the Russians and the Cubans, it's like
Koreans.
It's like the Chinese and the Cubans, I think, or something like that.
That's why you go to China, not France.
I don't know, man. I'm not digging that really, man. I got the original over there. I'm gonna watch actual shit blowing up.
Like, I feel so dirty. The dirt's not coming off.
So of course I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it for the site, but I'm not looking forward to that. I think that was.
You actually love all these movies. This is just shtick. Brad loves every single movie he's ever seen.
Nuki, man, best movie ever made.
It is.
I think that was it in terms of the newer trailers.
I need to start writing notes because we always forget.
Oh, that Bin Laden movie. I had that a couple times, but I hadn't really mentioned it.
We had it last time too, which I don't like the whole explain the real. Like they did it with the.
You don't like it when we kill terrorists? Traitor. That's un-American.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I think it looks all right. I think it might be all right. If it does really well at the box office, Sean Hannity will say it's a victory for Bush.
Oh Christ! No, I didn't like when they did like the Two Towers one. I don't.
Which World Trade Center?
Yeah, they made a couple of them, and then the one where Nicolas Cage.
United 93 was really good.
Yeah,
World Trade Center I didn't care much for.
I don't know. There's just been like so much news coverage and everything. It seems like they're not doing a movie to really honor everything. It's more so we're going to make money off of this.
It depends on the movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what this one looks like.
It looks like it's made as like a taut espionage thriller, and I think Catherine Bigelow is directing it, and if that's the case, it's in good hands. She made Point Break, and she made the Hurt Locker. Okay. She made the Hurt Locker.
I don't understand.
Get Jeremy Renner back. Have him kill Bin Laden.
As long as it's, I guess, more accurate than Pearl Harbor. I don't know. I understand. All right, you're gonna do.
What are you talking about? That happened.
No, I'm just saying. I understand. You're gonna make, the movie Titanic, obviously, based on a true story, obviously not historically accurate. However,
that ship didn't sink.
It's not. Well, if you've seen the cartoon version, everybody ends up okay, and like an octopus.
Finally, the true story came out.
Right, and they were like rapping dogs and dancing mice. No,
probably what Alex Jones thinks happened.
No, but what I'm just saying is, like, have some time. It didn't happen that long ago that you need to be.
It could be good. It could be good.
It's like you could have done any other espionage movie.
But it could be good. It could be good. It could be a good movie.
I question the motives Hollywood has behind things nowadays. It's pretty much just money.
Motives are oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
a new
like,
thing. Yeah.
No, because I said just to make money, and you're like, well, I don't know.
No, I was about to say something else. I was about to say I don't know what the motives are in terms of actually making the movie. Beyond money, of course they want to make money. I mean, beyond that, I don't know. But even with that being said, what?
None. There are no motives beyond that.
Maybe they just want to maybe they actually want to make a good movie. It could be a good movie. You could have questionable motives on something, but it could still be a good movie. Every remake ever, not every, but most remakes ever made have questionable motives behind it. That doesn't make the movie bad. It could still be a decent movie.
Except Flash Gordon with Channing Tatum.
Is that happening? Really?
It's not completely set in stone, but Gary Oldman is up to play Ming, which he could do a good Ming, but Flash Gordon.
He'll play it as his character from. He'll play it as his character from Fifth Element.
This reminds me. Sam Jones, if you're watching, yeah, right. Sign a petition. No, Channing Tatum cannot replace. No.
All right. Well, final thought on Looper.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Go see it,
fucking
definitely.
Good movie.
If you're gonna see any movie, I mean, I don't know what's to come, but if you were not satisfied with movies this summer, what have you?
I'd say go see Dread because it probably won't be out much longer.
True, but I'm saying if you're looking at the previews, I mean, it's even got good reviews online. This is definitely worth a movie ticket. It's not one of those where it's good, but you might want to say it's great. It really is. It's
an original, fun flick. It's relatively unpredictable. The acting, Bruce Willis, I've said this for a number of years, has always been as an actor, not as like a popular star, but as talents as an actor, to me is just criminally underrated. To me, it's insane how he hasn't gotten the award recognition that he has deserved for God knows how many years, and everyone turns in just phenomenal performances. And if any of them or all of them got award recognition or nominations for this, it would be well fucking deserved.
There's not one person you look at where you're like, okay, that person sucks.
Yeah.
And that kid deserves a fucking award.
That kid's good. That kid's really good. Yeah. All right, so recommendation. Oh, I just pretty much gave my final thought. It's great. It's a great fucking movie. Go check it out.